money back, money back, money back, woo! Money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids. And they all gang, so don't be talking sideways, sideways, sideways.
Have an all-white rank. Couldn't hit if it had ain't.
It's Gurley Power. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Todd Gurley, fresh off a standout performance a week ago, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Los Angeles Rams. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of the stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. A few short moments ago, running back Todd Gurley trying to fire up the Ram faithful here in Southern California as his guys get set to do battle with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They've gone a full half season since their last loss, winners of 8 in a row.
And you don't get on win streaks like this without your defense playing a big role. They've created quite an identity, and I know they want and expect this streak to get to 9.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they come in playing reasonably well. Losers the last time out, but winners of 4 of 5 before that. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. Goff on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. And quickly now, here's a look at the Rams offense.
I love watching Todd Gurley play because I think back to when he got drafted and so many people question taking him back that high. Well, you see exactly why. His ability to run, catch, and lead, it's a heck of a combination. And he leads the Rams.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Give the tackle that time to Rodney McLeod. Time to peek at the defensive starters. Here they are for Philadelphia. They are #2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season. But, boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Goff. Now they're dumping underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now it's gone. And Kurtz has it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
On first down, it's gone. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about the philosophy of starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 17 carries, 79 yards.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play, and I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams, because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
To throw on second down is gone. Right side complete. That's Woods. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Goff to Woods as the Rams move the chains. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On first down, it's Gurley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Another carry now for Gurley. And a short gain here down to the 22. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throwing on third. Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Being chased out left. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Sensational he was last week, over 200 yards. And the simple quote that we saw this week was, keep him in front of us. They're going to have to do that.
And when they say that, it means tackling him after the catch. Because once he makes the catch, you may catch it in front. But if you don't tackle him, he's behind you at that point, and that's how he racks up the big yardage.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 19 carries, 56 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football. Give it to him early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we're looking at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. They'll try to run with a J. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Wentz going to go on 4th down, and he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Nelson Aguilar with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time? Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a first down throw. Gone. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. On the counter, Gurley. And Gurley fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They go play action here on first down. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This will be the first red zone opportunity now for the Rams. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. On 1st and goal, Gurley. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive, but they'll be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game.
2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
Black 20.
Now Goff on 3rd and goal. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Brandon Cooks with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Nelson Aguilar and company getting set to go again on offense now. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
Holding, offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And it'll make it a 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Wentz on 3rd down. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball, competes, and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. And once again, they go with Sproles. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And did he have enough? He did. He kept it online and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it, and that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Well, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Now Sproles. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Here's a handoff to Sproles to start the drive. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Right back to him on 1st down. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go. Waiting.
A final shot before half for Wentz. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
On the ball. 5-7.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Lefty. Let's go. Great.
He may try and run for this. And avoids the contact by sliding. Nice pickup. 10 yards and a first down on the keeper.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Wentz now on first down. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
They run with Ajayi. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back, 74.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Kill.
Into the red zone, Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Mike Wallace, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nikel Roby-Coleman. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
There's something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And able to find a little space. He gets us up over the 15 to the 16. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get it.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And on second down, this is Gurley. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Sproles, the return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
But it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Yet another carry here tonight for Gurley. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Here's Goff. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
A play fake to Gurley. Now Goff. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to the ground game here. Gurley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, here's Goff. And this will be a dump off for Kelly. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal.
Back now in Los Angeles. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point, just a field goal separating these 2 teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And Zerline's kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Sproles. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. On the stop was Aaron Donald. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. Steps away. Ertz has it left side.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. On second down, here's Wentz. And an alley to run. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
They'll run it now out of the gun.
Come on, not fair.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. They set up the screen to Ajayi. Ajayi a first down and more. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. Now we have Wentz here still down on the ground. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 25. The tackle there by Mark Barron. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Throwing now is Wentz. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board. But give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Yeah, they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Goff. His throw incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And it's 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Goff now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. Finding room to the 20. Touchdown, LA! Todd Gurley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Rams have broken our tie as they take the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field. Certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
They turned the ball over last time. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. They give him a gain of 38. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now Wentz eluding the pressure right. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Nice movement there by Carson Wentz outside of the pocket, completes another pass. Help me out here, partner. He's not sneaky athletic. He is athletic. How many times do I have to say it?
Yeah, you've been making that declaration for a while, and at 6'5", he ran a 40 of 4.77, so not only big, but he can move.
That's a good time for a quarterback. He and Andrew Luck, similar physiques, similar athletic ability.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss a one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league slump right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Again, they run with Gurley. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount. He got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Johnny Hekker now, standing just about on his own goal line. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will be taken at the 13. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're down here in a one-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's second down. The Eagles hustling to the line. Clock rolling. He'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Back to throw. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the fourth. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for 2 and decide it right now.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Overtime here out west, and you got a team from the Eastern time zone. Maybe their body clock's a little thrown off, or is that overhyped?
I don't think it's overhyped, and I think that for most teams, you're hoping that your mind overrules your body, because your body's looking for slippers and bedtime clothes, right? They're looking for the pajamas. But in this case, you've got to stay with it mentally. And what a lot of teams do, they never change their watches. They always say on East Coast time and just go ahead that way to try and defeat any of the effects of moving to the West.
And you definitely could make the case we might not even be in overtime had he not thrown 3 interceptions in regulation. But looking better here so far in OT.
Yeah, and when you think about what a coach is thinking at that point, because normally you've thrown 3 picks during the game, you might craft your play call and be a little more careful. Not in this case. The green light still on for him.
A very solid gain of 27. Offensively, back-to-back really nice plays. This defense, they've got 2 timeouts. Maybe should burn one.
Yeah, when you get back-to-back explosive plays, to me, anything over 10 yards, I think is a run.
Sproles lost the football. And now the Rams have got it. Going the other way. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about that.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Sproles. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, breaking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because, for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. All right, well, they didn't kick it on 2nd down, now 3rd and goal. You have to kick it here.
Absolutely have to kick it because if you get a bad snap, you fall on it, you got a chance to kick it again on 4th down. Let's say it gets blocked and it's behind the line of scrimmage, you fall.
And this will be caught. It's a touchdown. An absolute stunned silence here as they have come in.